Hello, divine, beautiful souls. This is Energy Speaks Podcast with your host, Katriel. This season, season three, we are delving into the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series, and I'm introducing each practitioner along the journey. This particular episode is aligned with Libra energy, and our practitioner for the online Libra class is Star. How are you doing today?
Doing awesome. I'm doing just fabulous. Woo! Excited.
So, uh, Star is our practitioner for the relationship class. So I'm really excited to delve into all the different concepts in regards to the Libra. Libra is such an interesting energy. And it's funny, you have two Scorpios sitting here. So
Yeah.
but depending on your birth date and mine, in from the Vedic perspective, I'm actually a Libra in the sun. Interesting, right?
Oh, yes.
Because it's
Very
like
much
a
so. Yeah.
21 degrees, I think, or something like that, that they shift. Um, and so since there's 30 degrees, like that only gives you a little bit of wiggle room on who would move, signs or who would stay.
Mhm.
But
That is cool.
yeah, it's really interesting because I start thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? It's because it's the sign right before us. It does teach us a lot, you know? Uh, Libra's all about the energy of balance and harmonizing and also um, allowing yourself to receive. And so it's funny because sound bowl healer, you're really working with that harmonization thing.
Yeah. I love the balance of balancing my energy, like something that I've learned to practice over the past few years. And when find it when my inner energy is balanced, it's awesome. It's just
Mm,
amazing. And I really did not know that playing the sound bowls was going to do that. Besides not just the sound bowls, but meditation, breath work, all that. It's
mm,
balancing, but it's it's balancing. It's coming into the balance of who I am, or I am already, pretty much. Um, and just the inner practice that I do for myself, as well as I do it for myself, I'm also doing it for others.
mm,
Um, the I'm witnessing, um, as I've been actively playing sound bowl events more than I usually have. It's amazing. It's watching um, people's experiences in the sessions, and also incorporating a little bit of breath work with it as well in the very beginning, and then going into sound. It just, I'm witnessing how they're having, some individuals are having what I would say a more impactful experience. So yeah, I mean, where I think the one was just had energy. She felt energy just flowing up and down and up and down, and she would sit up because she wanted to move the energy, and she felt like at some point that she should stand up and let it just flow. I'm like, oh my gosh,
wow,
so amazing. Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
like, so I know, I'm just like, oh, I get all the goosebumps. Like, yes, I love it.
So for those who've never heard your last podcast with me, like it was last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like I can't even remember what month I was in Jerusalem. It's wild. Um, um so how did you get into sound bowl healing and breath work and all of these different modalities?
Well, the sound bowl healing came into place when I met a mutual friend of ours, Jennifer. She and they lived near me at the time, and she and her husband, and a friend invited me to go, and I went. It was the most amazing experience. And then they moved. They moved down south to Florida. But I found someone else who was also an hour away, and she has a metaphysical store. And I think she had just recently opened her store. And I started going there for her sound bowl events. It would basically be like maybe 20 minutes of her playing the bowls, but she had alchemy bowls.
Mm.
Amazing. And had a personal session. And in that personal session, like what I experienced was amazing. Where like for me, like I was gonna need a root canal.
Oh.
I did not say to her, I didn't, but my thought process, I was going to need one. It was very sensitive. It was one that had a tooth and a cavity that was already fixed for several years. I'm like, this sounds like a root canal. And but I went intentionally to help with the release of from my solar plexus, from my gut. I was releasing emotions. I had been actively shifting and releasing, and I wanted some help. And I thought this was going to be great. And also for a little bit on my hip. And it was a 30 minutes. And literally, when I left, it was an hour's drive home. I like to chew gum as a habit when I'm driving. So I was chewing it on my left side, and it was like my right side's not aching. That's where I had this sensitive tooth. I started chewing gum on that side, and I gotta tell you, it it was gone. But it was
Wow.
testimonial to the fact of emotions, energetic emotions. Um, so every tooth is associated to a certain area of the body. I looked it up to see what tooth and what was it connected to. It was connected to my gut. Where was I releasing emotional lower vibrational energies from my gut? So the lower vibrational energy that had been sitting there is what was recreating the perceived toothache and it really wasn't that. It was just what would I say, an effect or something like that. But I felt this pull originally to like, I want to start playing these. And I started gradually purchasing my bowls from this gal, and I just started playing them. How else? I was also playing them virtually because of COVID. I played them virtually online. I did some free sessions for people and paid sessions, and then started playing events. And it's like when I play them, it's a whole different ball game. I
Wow.
intuitively play them. Um, I can feel when I'm pulled into the energy of the bowls. That makes sense. And so when I'm playing them, my eyes are closed sometimes through most of it. And I'm literally just going where I'm drawn to. Whatever bowl am I drawn to play for however long, whatever. And I'm just I feel like I'm not necessarily there. It's an amazing experience. Breath work. So it's actually soma breath work that I practice. I practice that I've been practicing it for, I want to say at least 2 years. I found an amazing woman who was certified, and she also became one of my mentors. And I went through a program of hers for myself to get beyond myself. To the breath work was the whole key. And we went through several modules. So, and I also do the free ones that are on YouTube by the actual creator, who is Niraj. And so the breath is also, I call it my medicine cabinet,
Mm.
because what this was something else, like sometimes, so this was something else that I realized too. Actually, emotions are sometimes held in the gut. And so someone could be saying, say like, I have this gut and everything I'm doing, I can't seem to, I can't seem to lose it, or I'm bloated. That's energy. It's literally energy. And I had a little bit of that, and I was doing breath work, but not realizing that that was going to help shift that. It was a lot of emotions that were released. Um, it helps me too if I'm starting to feel like I'm maybe coming down with a slight cold or not feeling well. I don't know. I just feel it shifting. So
Mm.
I actually create just a bit of it right now in the sound bowl sessions that I do. And how powerful it is to witness, or not only say powerful, but what a gift is to witness the power that these students are giving themselves when they're all rhythmically breathing in and out at the same time. And then just relaxing each time even more. And then as I play the bowls, it's like they've gone deeper. And the
Mm.
experience of having is so amazing. And so, well, speaking of Soma breathwork, I am now at level 1 of becoming a Soma breathwork instructor certified, because I want to
Wow,
go deep.
cool.
I just started a week ago. So I want to take my clients deeper, because there's breath retentions. Certain people can do them, and certain people should not for medical reasons, things like
Mm.
that. And just because of my own personal experience and others who were in this program that I was in, like, wow, like I'll have to check one woman, she had been doing it for like a year. At the end of her year of having done it for a year, she was on multiple medications,
Wow.
down to like one. But it was also about the mental thoughts, the mental process, which is something else I help with my clients. It's what concept does one hold of self? The I am.
Mm.
About we speaking of relationships here. Relationship with self is such a key. It's choosing what type of relationship is one wanting to have with self, and without judgment, without the should or I should not. Those don't come into play. At least for me, that's how I see it. Um, I think having the most loving relationship is coming from a place of self-acceptance, no judgment. Uh, but that also goes for others as well, because there is no separation. Like you and I, we are actually one. There is no separation between the two of us. There is, um, as I see you is how I see myself. And to it's just a deeper dive. I think we'll get into that during the class, but um
Totally.
I am super passionate, because I will admit I was that person who thought I knew what loving self was. Absolutely not. Did not know, because of what was I saying about myself? I don't have to prove anything to anyone, because in that, if I'm feeling or even doing that, it's because I haven't accepted me. So it's loving every aspect, the uniqueness, or even where someone can, someone says, well, you're weird, that's okay. Yes, I embrace that, because that is who I am. That is my my uniqueness, never wanting to fit in anymore with this one or that one. So all that is what's taken into place. What I find is when I'm like, after I have facilitated a sound bowl session or, breathwork and sound bowl session, there's always that someone that asks the right question. And then it allows me to even listen to the words that are being said. And I'm able to recognize just a simple word that one takes for granted. That is actually, it shows like how that person is actually giving meaning to themselves or to a situation, maybe not wanting it, but just a simple shift with that is all it takes. And they sit back and they're just like, oh, that makes sense. I get that. I did never thought of it that way. Oh, I'm going to start changing how I say things. Oh, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. I love that. Yeah, personal development is such a hot topic right now.
Mhm.
Um, like, I'm so glad it is, honestly, because
Yeah.
I feel like as we're shifting gears, like the transit that just occurred in this Aquarius season is Pluto in Aquarius, and we're taking that thought process of like the old constructs, this kind of older version of Capricorn, and like saying, all right, let's get unified. And so we can actually have conversations now of like, wow, you and I, we're a part of the same. We're one.
Mhm.
That's freaking beautiful, you know?
Mhm.
um,
Oh, it really is.
I'm curious, as you were talking, I started thinking to myself, like, how do I give back to myself? And what popped in my head were the five love languages. Um, what what would you say, not to give someone else, but to give to yourself? What would be your love language to yourself? Just a reminder of
So,
what they are, if you need
yeah.
that, because
Yep.
there's like saying, beautiful things to yourself.
Okay.
Um, touch, giving yourself a present, a physical item,
Hmm.
quality time,
Hmm.
or acts, um, like acts of service for yourself.
Okay. Oh, I like those. Yes, those are easy. Those are
Game.
like no, so easy. Because I do this. I literally do quite a few of those on a daily basis. Number
Mm,
one is how to myself and my like literally in my soul, my inner self. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Love how you make me laugh. You're laughter, and you're God. You're God who is joy, happiness. Um, you're loved. Not only do you love yourself, you're loved by everyone because how much you love yourself. That is being shown. What do I do for a physical? So, I for me, it is going to the gym to work out. I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel wonderful. I feel great going and also meditation. Oh, what a that's what I do. Like meditating for myself. I am doing breath work. It's all that. That's the touch and the feel. If I'm having that moment of um well, I would say a sad, not a sad moment, but uh well, maybe a sad moment. It's like, okay, if I'm starting to shed some tears, I don't hold back anymore. And it's like,
mm,
okay, I'm in a moment right now. It's really okay. So what do? I will literally I can like hug myself. This is what you want. You want a hug. You want to have a hug. So here I am. I'm going to hug myself. This is what I'm going to do. Or something that I learned recently, which is really cool. What can I do for myself right now that feels good? What can I do right? It can just be, you know, it could be, well, just moving my hair. You know, that feels good. Good right now. Or, scratching a little itch or something. Or sometimes it's like, you know what? Just laying in this spot right now on my bed. This feels good. This feels good right now. Okay. And just kind of just build up on that. Another thing would be, and this is the practice I've been doing for about a month now, and I gotta tell you, it's amazing, for me at least, putting a smile on my face, just smiling, just because I'm smile. And it's just wonderful. Physical objects or something like that would be, there are times I might go to the store just to browse. I have no, I really, there isn't a need for me to buy something. And if something just sticks out at me, just, that draws attention, I'm going to get that for myself just because. And sometimes that usually happens, kind of like this cardinal. I'm all about birds, cardinals, and I literally went to this nursery to just, I don't know, I was like, I'm just gonna check out what they have. A friend of mine owns it, but it was around Christmas time, like right after Christmas, and they were like, "Oh, we are having a 50% off sale on all Christmas items." I go, "Well, how about that? Lucky day." And I was just like, saw the cardinal. I'm like, that's a yes. It's a yes. So it's more or less like surprising what my setting an intention for my day. It's been the best day ever, and I'm always surprised. It's setting something. I don't know, did I touch on all five or
Presence, quality time.
quality time? That would be quiet time. That would, I would almost say that's like my meditation. The quality time for myself would be maybe just sitting down and watching a funny love story on TV, just me, and having some hot chocolate, wintertime, hot chocolate, a snack. I will say I don't diet. So I pretty much kind of eat the things that I like to eat, but in moderation. So it's like quality time with me. That's kind of like what I equate the quality time. Just doing thing that just for me, just because, it's just that's it.
Yeah, I love that. And then just like kind of the present thing. So acts of kindness for yourself. What do
Acts
you
of, so that could almost be, I would say acts of kindness for myself would
or
be,
service for yourself, something to that a degree.
how am how am I speaking to myself? Or um acts of kindness would be doing something that makes me feel good, that brings me happiness. It's just a joy in the moment. So I would say it was something just recently. Just this really cool. I don't know how to describe it, but uh, it's an organic, natural type of soap, and it has lavender in it. And I have very dry skin, but I've maintained that very well. But I had something that I was like, wow, that's tried and like, I absolutely love this. Like this is something kind and loving for me, for my physical body.
Hmm. I love that. I'm like sitting through, I was like, okay, if I've asked you this question, I have to deliver as well.
Ah,
And so I'm
yes,
like,
here.
so I am gonna start with acts of kindness actually. Um
Okay.
for myself, I have a routine of, depending on like how my schedule is, either every 2 weeks, every 2.5 weeks, something to that degree. I always give myself a massage and a chiropractic appointment because that helps my body stay in alignment, and like I like I need to be worked on at the body level, but still that's a service. It's not me touching my body. I'm ridiculous. Um, the second one, quality time. Okay, I love to take myself out on date night. Um, so like last week, no, it's actually this week. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Um, I took myself out to dinner when I had to go to the international mall to fix my AirPods so I could actually do a podcast with them on because it wasn't syncing to my computer. But I took myself out to this one restaurant called Brio Tuscany Grill, and it was just time for myself to kind of like be there, think my own thoughts, and also like, partake in this beautiful meal. It's like and I don't, when I'm eating specifically, I don't like to have my phone in front of me. Like maybe before the meal, that's fine, whatever. But like I get to really like tune in and feel that food and connect, to its frequency. And I don't know, I'm a foodie, love food. And I love salmon with lemon. Oh, yes. So I so enjoy anything with like salmon, lemon, and asparagus, and it had mashed potatoes too. So like I was like in heaven with that quality time with myself. Then today, um, I actually had to go and grab some stuff for my mom at Target, and I was walking down and I was like, I don't know why, but I'm not supposed to leave yet. So of course, I walk down the aisle and I start walking over, like I wanted to see how much the yoga mats were, because I just started making yoga mats, and then I looked over there and I was like, wait a minute, yoga mat, you're on pause right now. That is a beautiful bike. What the heck is that? Now, yesterday, I had a thought to myself, literally like, I'm grateful for the bike I do have, but I got it for free. It doesn't work very well, and it hurts my back pretty. And I said, if it's in alignment, I would love to get a new bike and not have to spend a fortune on it. Like, and I would love for it to be like the old style cruiser bikes, like the Schwinn. I look at that aisle, and there is the bike that was in my mind's eye right there in front of me. And I was like, not going to get the bike that day, like today or whatever. And I look at it and I said, Clarence, $109. What? I just looked at this thing and it was between $400 and $800. I'd be an idiot not to buy that right now. So my physical present to myself is something that, like, it's practical because I really did need the bike because it would help me get to my synagogue on Shabbat, which, because I don't drive, I will bike, but or walk, but that's kind of been hard on my body lately, the walking that long distance. And so I'm like, yeah, bike, you deserve. There's my physical touch. No, no, the physical touch actually is interesting, and it aligns with Libra. Um, I'll go there last actually because it'll lead us into the next segue. And then like the saying things, nice things to myself. I've been trying to do that more lately, and I feel like that's the one that I need to do more often. Is like consciously say things. You got this, buddy. You know, and I've been doing this, especially when it's probably I should probably do it in other situations, but I've been doing it in bingo and mahjong, where I'm like, Katriel, I allow myself to receive. I allow myself to receive.
Yes, and yes, yes, and yes. I love it. You receive right.
Because I want to win the mahjong or bingo game, you know? Or scratch off. Yeah, I should probably not do it exclusively to gambling. My secret to everyone. But the physical touch, this is really an interesting one because it's called the hemisync. Are you familiar with the hemisync?
No, never heard of it.
So it's essentially when you take one side of your body and connect it with the other. And one of the best ways to do this is if you can take your hands like that,
Mm-hmm.
take them over, cross,
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
bring it into the heart space. Whenever you're feeling in stress mode, unbalanced, this is a perfect tool to be able to bring your body literally back into homeostasis. And then
Like that.
it's also a nice added bonus that because of this specific movement, it's connecting you right to your heart space. And then you take a nice deep breath in. You can like literally feel the shift and the change. And it's very physical.
I'm gonna have to try it
Other
with the breath.
Yeah, I would love to hear your feedback on it. My friend who's a Libra actually taught me that because she's really into neuroscience.
I'm
And
gonna do
the
it
other
tonight.
one, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do it tonight.
Yay! The other one is literally just anywhere you can connect both. You can do that, prayer hands. Did you just did
But
you just hit the heart button?
no.
Did you see that?
No.
Wait, what? Like
You have
literally
the
hearts. The hearts literally just came out of your hands. I wonder if it's like some type of a technological when you have it in this. It like,
I went like this first.
whoa!
Oh my
Do you
God,
see that?
there it
Magic
is. See
right
it?
here on the show, guys.
But yeah,
Whoa! How are you doing that? She's got the
I don't
magical
know.
touch, guys. That that's
Wow.
epic. And this is why we have the relationship class.
Love relationships. Yes. So awesome. I'm gonna do it again. I'm addicted.
That is epic. Absolutely epic.
Wow.
I
Now when
I
another call, I'm gonna just kind of do that. Try it out.
that is so cool. I'm just readjusting my headphones because for some reason they decided they didn't want to link.
The
As you're
energy.
shooting off
We're hot.
hearts,
I love it.
unbelievable.
Of course, you know what? This is what we're talking about. Love.
And that's
Relationship.
it. You love
Mhm.
yourself, and the technology even talked back to you.
Yeah, that's it. That's
That
the
is
best.
absolutely amazing. Wow. So I'm really excited for this relationship class, and I you know i- I'm also excited to maybe even talk more about, like, the Venus signs and stuff like that, because that's a like we each have, like, just like the five love languages, we all have our own, like, perception of what we like, maybe like more, but we technically need them all, you know, or
Right.
what we prefer to give or receive or whatever that is. But
Mhm.
the Venus sign, like, it's very, like, you can for me, it's like it makes so much sense. Like, Venus, mine is Scorpio, so it's like just more intensity and, like, in depth, and I'm like, I love you. It
See what
scares people, I
my
feel.
oh, I want to check real quick. What is my Venus? Um, I do have it in here in my phone. I have it saved. I know my moon, my just give me just a second. Sorry. It shouldn't
It's
take me
okay.
too. You curiosity, my Venus sign. This is okay. So my Venus is um out of all things, Libra.
Ah, interesting.
And that is the only place where I have the Libra. Venus and well, how about that?
Interesting.
I like yes.
It's so appropriate for you to be here today teaching,
It is.
well, introducing the relationship class.
Yeah. You know what? All perfect. Perfect alignment. What can I say?
What's interesting, I started thinking about the schedule for what's coming up is, like, okay, we have Valentine's Day coming up, right? And
Hmm.
so, like, when everybody, like, Valentine's Day is all about, like, oh, let me be infatuated with everyone. And then we get to a couple weeks later and we completely lose touch with everything that we might, say to the other person because we're in the real world life stuff, right? And so I started thinking, I was like, oh, wow, it's in perfect alignment that the week pretty much after Valentine's Day, we have the Gemini class with compassionate communication. And I'm like, yep, definitely needed. And it's definitely, you know, pairing us with the relationship class because you know what I mean? Like, very, like, you really do need to approach the communication from one aspect and then the relationship and see how they work together. Like, it makes perfect sense to me.
I personally feel like Valentine's Day is just a man-made holiday,
Oh, it is.
and
Sorry.
that on in the meeting that was put on it. But Valentine's Day for me, it's like, why, why should I pick that one day to show myself how much I love myself or my partner, whatever? It's like every day. How about every day? Just every day. I think just doing something loving for self every single day.
You know, I will say though, like, Valentine's Day is not like one of my top, actually, it's really not my top at all. Um, pick of holidays. I will say I did get my mom a card once for Valentine's. Well, I mean, I probably given her many cards, but there was a specific card I'm referencing. And it talked about what was Valentine's Day, how did that even become a thing? And I thought it was really cool. It was this like guy from like the Roman time period, like Valentino or something like that. And he did acts of kindness for other people. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's literally what Valentine's Day is actually supposed to be about. Like, that's hilarious. I actually resonate with that more.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. Like, something wonderful for every day. Kindness, kindness, acts of kindness for self as well. Like, it always comes back to self.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like even if like from the okay, so from the Jewish perspective of like the Hasidic perspective, we have this thing called tzedakah, chesed, and that's all about loving kindness. It's about the output action. And part of that is where you are giving, someone is receiving, but not only while you're giving, your heart's there. So you're receiving in that moment by that act of kindness. And so, and then it's contagious. Like, you know, it's like it just spreads. And that's the thing. It's like when we start to really heart center ourselves and do things out of pure kindness, like from a place in ourselves, and we're like not having that expectation, of like getting something in return, like truly selfless act. We are actually, you know, uniting the whole, the everyone, the one heart, you know, and
Mm,
it's beautiful.
yes. Hmm. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you would love to share with us in regards to yourself or the relationship class that you or anything like that?
Um, oh my goodness. I say the relationship classes, I feel like it's going to be, I feel it's going to be a very impactful class of the opportunity to share, I would say, practices or techniques with whatever resonates. I mean, it's not something that someone must do those specific things, but they are avenues to tap into. And for even to ask, certain questions. I feel like I would pose certain questions for everyone as a whole to think about, to dive into within themselves, based off of, from my own learning and growth of what I thought at the time, um, I knew, and also realizing what I did not know. Um, yeah, just to share, really, I feel, as for myself, I'm always expecting every single day. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new me. Every day is a new me to grow and to have an even better relationship than just yesterday. Um, I would say come in to have some fun, come in to experience, to have an experience, really, just to have the most amazing experience, is what I would say.
Mm, I love that. Oof. Ah. So I just want to um update when our class is for everyone. We just put it on the books today, so I'm super, super excited. It will be March 4th from 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh my goodness, I love that. Until 8 p.m. So it's an hour and a half class. It's $35. And if you go to energyspeaksbykatriel.com, you can go to the events. It'll be up hopefully by tomorrow. Um, um, but we had to get everything in place first. So um, I'll be putting up the events, and you can also watch for the events on Facebook as well. Um, I want to give a little bit of background in regards to the website and a little bit of information for those of you who have never heard of the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series and are listening to this and are like, "Whoa, how do I be a part of that?" Well, let me share with you. I'm actually going to switch really quickly my background so I can show you something. Uh, 2 seconds. There we go. All right. So, yes, this is my fan. So the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series is a way where one, we can connect all together as a community. That's a number one thing. Two, we have a specific model that we're going through, a a rhythm, and it's really highlighting the the creation energy and like how do we co-create within the universe? How do we manifest? And there's like there's a way, a specific rhythm that are within our numerology that it shows us. So where have we gone thus far? We're in Libra right now. So I'm going to take you through just to give you a little um uh like example. And I can actually take you here because this is the shirt that I've created for the series for myself because I wanted all of them, not just one. Um, so we have
Cool.
Scorpio. I set the sacred space for the transformation. So part of that, if you think about a circle, oh my gosh, do the thing, do the thing. The circle. Okay. Well, it'll get there. Maybe I have to talk about this first. So we have the circle. There's the boundary, there's the outside, which is like the chaos energy, right? It's the primordial energy. And then we have what's inside the circle. Inside that circle is where we create our sacred space. Now, we have to put ingredients inside. Try it again. Inside, we have we put the Leo energy, the heart. It would have been great. Leading with our heart. And so it only happens a few times, I guess, you know. I tried. I tried. um so Leo energy is it's about love. It's about leading with the heart. If we start off every single time we want to like bring something forth in the world and we do it through the heart space, we're going to save ourselves a lot of trouble because it's being filtered through the bridge between the spiritual, our connection with source, and here into the physical world. That is what the heart is. And so then we add the second ingredient. Right now, specifically, where we're in the week of Cancer energy. And so that is the second ingredient that goes inside the sacred space. And that is all about feeling our emotions, being in tune with the rhythm of life, the moon, the tide, the ebb and flow. And that is also vibration, our soul's vibration. So we're not only allowing our heart to be the first ingredient, but we're aligning our soul. And our soul is eternal. It has a memory that goes through the until the existence of us. So we're tapping into that, this wisdom. The third ingredient is our belief system. Our belief system is connected with Sagittarius, and it can be our expansion. What stories are we telling ourselves? What do we believe? Are our stories serving us? If they are, great, you can expand. If not, we need to address them and shift our perspective. Then we get to the fourth energy that goes inside. That fourth ingredient is the Aquarius energy. It's all about shifting, and it comes with essentially, where do we belong and where do we not belong? Often we figure out where we don't belong before we find out where we do belong. And and then that gives us, oh wow, okay, it gives us a whole aha moment because we've experienced something that we don't necessarily want to be a part of, and we're like, that's it. You just know. You just know what it is. And we start to shift up. We get ourselves into uncomfortable situations because that uncomfortability is where we grow. We have to feel that. It's like that, like all of that energy needs to be shaken up for us to shift frequencies. And then we finally, with the fifth ingredient, communicate that to the universe, communicate to ourselves, to other people. If we didn't start with all those other ingredients, it would be a shift show. And so, like, there's a time and a place for every energy, and when we put them in a specific order, we are unstoppable, essentially. It's like a very well formed, like, intention, and that's beautiful. So then we get to the sixth ingredient that goes inside the sacred space, and that's the Libra energy, and that's where we harmonize and balance and allow ourselves to receive. Because at that point, it's all etheric still. It's not a fully formed intention into a manifestation. It is still, it's like, and the vibration. Sure. Are you ready to receive that? Do you want inner peace? Okay. All right. I allow myself to have inner peace. We have to say yes first, then we'll see the physical. And so, like, yes, all this stuff happens so quickly. We're slowing it down a little bit to watch the process, to be able to jump into this and recognize it in our own life. And when we start to do that, we start to identify patterns and we start shifting those patterns into healthier ones. And that's where the magic happens. That's when you have this and the hearts start flying. Like, and so with these classes, we're going through each week, and we have an in-person and an online class that are completely different paths, two different instructors, right? And we're embodying that particular zodiac energy. Because here's the thing, when we start to feel it inside of us and recognize it, a feeling is way easier to recognize and to work with than like a fleeting thought. The mind can play tricks on us. But when we can feel that energy, it's like, oh, it's kind of like saying, hey, do you feel like you can really, like, buy a house right now? Can you feel yourself living in that? Well, when you can, I guarantee you'll have the house faster because you felt it. You know what it feels like. So when you talk to that right person, that and you've set all of the intentions out there of what you want the house to look like, but you've also set the vibration of what it feels like, when you walk into that home, you're going to know immediately that that's the home for you. That's just an example. So through this series, I created what is called the Zodiac Energy Empowerment Series journal for 2024. This has your like a little bit of what every single energy, zodiac energy, is in the order that we're doing it in. You have a nice little schedule for yourself, both in person and online. And you have questions catered towards every single class, specific questions. It's not the same repetitive questions. The only time I repeat is the ones that are connected to the chakras, things we have to connect with in our energy sources, because we need to repeat those questions to see where we're at with that specific energy. And so I've done a lot of work to be able to have tools for us all. And now we have a Facebook online group where we can communicate and share each other's posts and lift each other up. And that's the world that I want to walk into as we step into the age of Aquarius, is helping each other, building each other up. And so I invite you to come to the relationships class and other classes. Again, for instance, if for some reason you're like, oh man, that timing for the online class is like not, I want to attend, but I just can't, like, or I bought the ticket, I don't know, I had something else come up. It's going to be recorded, guys. It's all good. You will have all of the nuggets of gold and it'll be amazing. I promise you. And so, very excited. And I want to say thank you, Star, for just being a part of this series, this movement.
Ooh, I have, thank you for inviting me. I love it. I think it's amazing.
Mer. Oh wow. It just really is a dream come true. To experience this with, like, for me, I just want to play with people. Like, it's like I'm a little kid on the playground saying, "Hey, come play." And
Having fun. It's all about fun.
so, thank you so much, Star, again. And is there anything else you would like to share with us?
No,
How
thank
can
you
we
for
reach
everyone
you?
who you can reach me on Instagram, Paula Star Finney. That's how you can find me on Instagram. Also, yeah, you can send me DMs through there if you would like, if you'd like to know more information and what I do, or if you want to work with me, or if you have any questions, really. Yeah, shares. I love shares. Mm.
Thank
And then
you.
I just want to say everyone's amazing and am pleased to be here.
Thank you so, so much. And thank you, all divine, beautiful souls, for listening and engaging and playing. I love you all. And that is today's episode for Energy Speaks podcast with Libra. I hope you have a beautiful day.